Turn me up. This is
coming to you from the heart of the Pacific, brought to you by Paulie by Design.
respected at all times.
Broadcasting from San Francisco, California, the city by the bay.
It's about to go down.
We shine on positive Pacific Islander role model every Sunday.
Party on a Sunday.
From 10 a.m. to noon, it's time for the iconic Faika podcast with your hosts,
Listening to
Naki and Carl.
What's up, Naki?
What's up, Carl?
The Giants are up.
Yeah.
It's crazy that it's a 162 game season and it's coming down to the last day of the season. It may even go into a one game playoff. If the Giants lose today and the Dodgers win, it goes to a one game, 163rd game to decide the NL West.
Well,
It's crazy. 162 games, and the going to come down to that.
that's how we roll.
I actually think because the Giants lead that series 10-9 head to head.
Mhm.
So if they end up tied, to me, the Giants should just win. But
Right.
it's not that way. Let's see. Season 5, episode 50. Big
Mhm.
show today.
Good
We're going
morning.
to have our check-ins. We got a Snacky with Naki update rolling
Mhm.
past 1.5 million views.
Holy crap.
We got our community updates as always, and then in the second segment we will have Inoke Tonga on. He's going
Yes.
to graduate to the big show. He was on the little minor circuit, Ellen DeGeneres, and now
That's
he's
big show.
on the Faika podcast.
We're humbling him back down. Yes.
We're going to bring him back to earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our show today. Naki, what's up?
Good morning. So, yeah, good morning to Julian Joseph Bula from Fiji. Good morning, Fiji. Melanie is on. Good morning. And our Maury is on.
I
So,
just
good morning.
Got a text from Yvette Monamea.
Nice.
She says good morning, and then she said she was
Excuse me.
flashing gang signs on the bang bang.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
Yeah.
Got my Niner stuff on
Gang
this
signs.
morning.
It should be Giants today.
Yeah, Giants are doing great, of course, but,
They gotta
ride or
win today.
die, Niner gang.
They gotta win today.
Yeah, they're going to win. No worries. No worries. So thank you to those of you who are checking in on Facebook all the way from Fiji. We're going to make it there.
We are.
We're going to look you up, Julian, when we get to Fiji. As soon as we get to Fiji, we are going to holla at you. So last Sunday, my daughter is getting married in November. So I had to go dress shopping.
Uh-huh.
I have a dress, actually a couple of dresses in my closet.
But you only got one you can wear at the wedding.
Yeah. I have, but I've never worn these dresses. So
Mm.
they just have been sitting in my closet. And so we went mother of the bride shopping last Sunday. And I thought it was just going to be me, but it was a group event. It was a
Uh-huh.
group event. And so,
Was it a group decision?
yes, it was a group decision. My daughters, who are very opinionated.
Gee, I wonder where they get that from.
Yeah. My daughters are very opinionated and very straightforward and don't hold back. We're like, no, Mom, no. I love this black dress that I got 6 years ago that has just been sitting in my closet, and I've just been waiting for an event to wear it
Uh-huh.
to. So I'm like, I'm going to wear it to Evie's wedding.
You're not wearing a dress you bought in 2015.
Hey, man. And so I tried tons of dresses on at where we went. And they were like, nope, too tight, too small, too booby, too booty, and I was like, Lord have mercy. So we found a dress that
Uh-huh.
was successful. So
Very important that that's a community affair.
Yeah.
It's not a personal affair.
yeah, it was a community affair. So I basically am wearing what my daughter's like. And so we did that last Sunday. And then Miley, who is my daughter in junior college, had a volleyball game. And so apparently it was another family event. Everyone came out to watch her game at Solano. And
Nice. Did we win?
Mhm. Yes,
And we did.
we won in less than an hour. So it's the best
Wow.
out of, you have to win, whoever gets to 3 wins. So the best of
Best
five.
of 5.
Best of 5. And the game started at 6 and it was over at 6:50. So I was kind of sad because I wanted it to go a little longer. And then at some point we started cheering for the other side. Just
How'd
so
that go over with Miley when you're cheering
well,
for the other side?
we were trying to get them to have more play, like
Uh-huh.
a longer game. And
And how'd that go
yeah.
over with your daughter, who's very competitive when
Oh,
you're cheering for the
it
other
was all
team?
right. She was okay. She was okay. I think it got to a point where she was trying to help them too. So my Jordan girls came out. My Kyle and Manaya, who is my sister's daughter, Kyle, and her son. They spent the weekend with us, so that was
nice.
fun.
Baby in the house.
Yes, and Uncle Chach, the baby brother, and Frankie Queenie, just the whole family. It was very nice to see everyone. It was nice that they came out, so it was good.
How does Sunga get along with a baby in the house?
Oh my God, Sunga was so jealous. She was right, like she was all up in our face whenever one of us had the baby. She was just like would lay across our lap. I was like, "Girl, what are you doing?" So yeah, she was very jealous of Manaya. But what it didn't hurt Manaya. She was just jealous that she wasn't getting center of attention. There you go. So that was my dog issues this week. Yesterday, I went to Mama Sil and Brother Junior, their daughter, Jazz, had her baby shower. Her and her husband, Khalid, they're expecting a baby boy. And so it was at Brentwood, and I sat with the OGs all sat at one table. You had to be vaccinated to be at our table.
In the PI community, I think that's the step between adult and elder.
Yes.
Right? You're an adult, then you just call yourself an OG, and at some point you're going to be an elder.
Yeah. So they played bingo. They had games. We're very competitive. So we're just
Did you get a yelled bingo last night?
I didn't. We had a bingo game, and they had played bingo and gave away door prizes, and we're very competitive. So we were like I sat with Sister Chris, and you can hear the caller, but you had to be really paying attention. I think I told you earlier. And Chris was like, "Did they just say B4?" And I was like, maybe. She's like, "Oh, hell no." And then it got to the point where everybody was like, maybe that was the number, maybe it wasn't. And then Sister Kim Gaynor, who was sitting at our table, she's like, "All right, I don't want to play anymore because I want us to be friends at the end of this bingo game." So it was that competitive. So we had a good time. So thank you to Mama Sil and Brother Junior and having us, celebrate their new blessing. It was amazing. And so that was it, I think. Did I cover everything? Like where I had a root canal done this week.
That's an event.
That was an event.
Did you get all doped up?
I got doped up, but I was just numb. They didn't give me anything good. Right. So they gave me, they numbed me up, and then Mo picked me up and I went to work the next day.
There's no video of you like saying crazy. No.
Do they dope you up when you get a root canal?
Know.
No, I wasn't doped up. She just numbed me really good.
Teeth out, maybe. That's
maybe
because there's the videos out there with people.
Oh, that could be it. That could be it. So I got numbed up, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, you're having a root canal. That's going to be so painful." It's not like they do it like with no like they numbed my whole side of my mouth. I didn't feel anything. I went to work the next day, and that was it. And ate. As soon as my face was not numb anymore, I ate. So
you got to be careful with that. You end up chewing on your cheek if you're still numb.
Yeah, no, they said to chew on the other side till, I don't know, kingdom come, but I chewed on this side. So I've made it a point to take better care of my teeth because I'm always eating, as y'all know, snacky. So I'm always eating. So I decided to this year take better care of my teeth. And I love my dentist. And so, yeah, there you go. Good morning, Rhoda Samoa, checking in on
Rhoda.
Facebook. Good morning to everyone on Facebook. We appreciate you. I think that was it. Yesterday, we went to go breakfast.
Yesterday was awesome.
Yeah. Yesterday, we went to go have breakfast. And I like this place. What is it? Gorilla Cafe in Berkeley.
Yeah.
And so they make a spicy mocha that is so good.
What's funny is I showed Nike this place. She had never been there before. And now she's the one dragging me. We got to go to Gorilla Cafe. We got to go to. I was like, okay. I mean, it's okay, but it's not. But we drove to Berkeley for the for that spicy mocha.
Donald Mame said, I was high. I'll give you my dentist's number. Yes, Donald, I will take your dentist's number. If they're going to make me high, I will take it. So, yeah. So we went to we headed to Gorilla Cafe and I got my spicy mocha. So if you're in Berkeley, go to Gorilla Cafe on Shattuck and get your spicy mocha. It is so good. So good. So we ended up eating at
crepe store or crepe cafe or something
Crepe
like that?
Cafe. It's at the corner. The same, like 2 buildings down from Gorilla Cafe, and we had crepes. And then
that was really good.
It was so good. I love crepes anyway, but my crepe had scrambled eggs, sausage, avocados. Mena hates avocados, green peppers, and then I had sweet potato fries with it. And they give you some salad, a little salad, which I didn't touch. But my crepe was so good. Yeah, I know. I was like, you could have left that off. But yeah, it was so good. So then we headed over to Gorilla Cafe afterwards. And then that was it. Mo is okay, so I'm back to my teeth again. So when I was numb on my side, I had to take some Motrin and antibiotics for just in case. And I got in the car and I was still numb, and Mo passed me my meds. And when you're numb, you don't feel anything. So when I drank the water
all over
was
your face?
dripping down the side of my face. He was laughing so hard.
Good for him.
He was laughing so hard. I was like, dude, be on my side. Be my friend. Wipe me up, damn it. So yeah, that was my week. Oh, but when we went to the restaurant, I completely forgot that when you go out to eat in the state of California, that you have to show your vaccine card. And I was like, holy crap. Like it threw me off, even though I know it. And I guess this is the first time we went to go eat when this mandate came out. So it was kind of weird, but I don't know. Weird. I mean, I'm vaccinated. I have a card, so it wasn't a problem. But it was kind of weird.
Weird to see those words at the door, right? When we came in, it's like right there on a big sandwich signboard. Like you gotta have it, and gotta have ID too.
Yes.
You can't just show the vaccination shot of it. Like if it says John Smith, you need an ID that says John
They didn't
Smith.
ask me for my ID. Or the people that were behind me, though, they were like whipping it out. Like, here you go. And you can either have the card itself or a picture of it on your phone. So maybe you do need your ID. Maybe my face was trustworthy. That's probably it.
Maybe that's it.
That's definitely it.
Water running down the side of your face.
But yeah, it was just a little weird just because, I don't know. It was, we were talking about this yesterday at the baby shower. It's a different time now that we live in. So, you've got to show your vaccine card. And we were talking about, when you're somewhere in public and somebody coughs and everybody's all, giving that person a weird, look. So yeah, that was yesterday. That was my weekend. Actually, I had a really good weekend. So thank you to everyone that I hung out with and yo Fabi butt. But yeah, that was my week. How was your week?
My week was good. We had our Koviki talk was canceled on Monday, and that was actually a good thing. I was running pretty hard this week, so to have that Monday evening off was a good thing. Naki's the CEO, so when she said, "Hey, let's cancel today," I was like,
take
"Yes." So that was, get a little bit of relaxation in. Had some good conversation with one of my sons, Ty. He's in that, I don't know, 22 turning 23, trying to figure out I feel like sometimes that age they feel like everybody thinks they should have it figured out.
Yeah.
So he's like, look, I see you and mom busy all day from the time you get up to the time you go to bed. And I'm just working. And then what do I do with the rest of my time? And I'm like, you're 22.
Right.
Go have fun, be a kid.
Yeah.
You're going to have bills. You're going to have kids. You're going to have all those things later.
You don't want those problems yet.
Don't rush into that. But he does want to, he wants to
do more.
Feeling like he's not productive, it was good. I was really happy he was able to share it. You know what I mean? Rather than just holding it in. He was like, so we had some good talks a couple times this week about, you don't have to have everything figured out.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah, you're 22.
Right.
But I think at that age too, like I was like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? I need to do something. And I think it's because, well, you and Nick are crazy busy all the time. Like you are always doing something. So, he's probably seeing that like, what am I missing? What do I need to do? But if only he's seen you at 22, then he'd
You
understand.
think I might not have had it figured out at 22?
No, you definitely did not have it figured out at 22.
I had things figured out at 22, but not the right things.
But not that.
Like
Yeah.
which club, what club on what night? I had that figured out.
Yeah.
But, so that was good. I think that, it's the whole, like, I think that's now, right? Like you see everybody on social media and everybody's got this busy, perfect life. That's the persona that people play.
That's a persona though. That's
right.
That's what people want you to see.
And then that's all you see.
Yes.
You see snippets of everybody's living their best life and their happiest moments and all those kind of things. And then I could see where a 22-year-old would be like, well, damn.
What the heck?
I'm not, doing this or doing that. So I feel for the young kids today. It's a different, I don't think it's any harder,
it's crazy.
But it's different. It's a different hard. Like they have problems we didn't. We had problems they don't.
Yes.
So I got a peek into that world. On Wednesday, I was on we had got sent something from Marina from the Tobacco Free Coalition, I think, Tobacco Free San Francisco. And she had invited us to a webinar on Wednesday. It was understanding why more Black, Latinx, and Samoan young adults aren't getting vaccinated. And so I had middle of the day, and I had a meeting cancel at work.
Oh, nice.
And I looked down, and it was like 5 minutes away from starting, and I was like, well, God must want me to attend this, apparently.
There you go.
I sat in. Natalie Asun from Rams was in on it.
Oh, nice.
But I will tell you this, and this is, we always talk about, we want to hear people say it that look like us.
Right. Was there somebody in there?
There was an Asian lady, and it was good information. It wasn't bad information, but hearing an Asian lady talk about Samoan issues.
Oh, hell no.
And talk about why Samoans aren't getting vaccinated. And it was true information. She was talking about like things that we talk about, but hearing seeing somebody speak about it that isn't Samoan was just grating on me the entire show. I was like looking at it.
Did
and I was
Natalie, was she a speaker or
she
she was
a
just
speaker.
in?
She was in the room, and she was, we were both agreeing with what was being said. And it's not even necessarily a rational thing. Like there was good information being passed.
Awesome.
But that whole thing, like we talk about on Koviki Talk,
it does.
Us talking to us.
It kind of rubs us the wrong way too.
Like, and more she's saying, well, in the Samoan, community, they don't do this and they don't do that. And
was she right?
And she was right.
Oh, okay.
But it still felt some kind of way.
Some kind of way. Hearing her say it.
Right. Oof. And then when I saw Natalie comment, I was like, why didn't you have Natalie
speak?
Right. Like you've got, anyway.
Yeah, that's, not to cut you off or anything, but like at my work, they had API month and they had a Zoom, like, come join us, hear us. We're celebrating API month. And the panel did not have a PI person. And I was like, it made me feel a certain way too. I'm like, if you're going to have an API function or a meeting, you should have a PI person there. Just, I don't know, maybe. And I don't know. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Like should be somebody up there
representing
us, especially in API month. Like it's not a month.
Yes.
It's API month.
Right.
Yeah, it's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, that's a whole crazy topic.
We have a month. I don't know that I want a month.
Yeah. We celebrate every day, that's just, I think every PI celebrates all the time. It's who we are. Just like, any other nationality that gets a month, like they celebrate every day. So, I get it. It's just recognition, but
there's a really good video out there with Morgan Freeman, and he's on with one of the guys from NBC, and Morgan Freeman's like, I don't want, like, when's White History Month? Oh, is it? Are we like? Is that we just celebrate that all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to say it's White History Month.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I don't want a month. I don't, I just want to be just the same as everybody else.
Yeah, recognized
Right.
yeah.
And I kind of feel that way. I like to focus within the community, but yeah, it was just that, and I was doing it, I try to keep an open mind. So as she's talking,
Yeah.
I was like, just listen to the facts, just listen to
Right.
what she's saying. Am I disagreeing with that? And I was like, no, that's right.
She was on the money.
That's good.
Good.
But it's still, to me, they should have had at least a Pacific Islander, if not a Samoan speaker, and then you had Natalie in the room.
Yeah, Natalie is big time community leader. So
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe, well, you knew about her because you sent her an invite to the function.
Right.
So yeah, that's okay. I get that. But
yeah.
I don't know. If you're gonna say you're gonna represent us, at least have someone that looks like us. But that good for her that she had all the facts and everything correct.
They had
so
data.
good.
They had data, and it was accurate data. I mean, it wasn't as, I think, as specific as Naopo's survey, the needs assessment that Naopo did, that Dr. Samoa is presenting.
Yes,
that was far more detailed, but the information they had was accurate.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you have to understand PIs is like, we only listen to ourselves, our pastor, our community-based organization leaders, you know what I mean? That's what we soak in because we see someone that looks like us that is telling us what we need to know, which I'm sure she did a great job, you know what I mean? And it sounds like she hit all the facts, but I don't know what it is about our community that only soaks in information from our own community. So it's kind of hard to explain to people that don't understand our culture, and we've gone through this, have said this a million times because it's hard for you to, I don't know, it's hard for somebody outside our culture to understand that we only trust ourselves only because based on history, y'all don't give a shit about me. So I totally get that, but I'm glad that her information was accurate.
Information was accurate. It was timely. It was, it was well presented. It just, and I had to keep checking myself as I was going through there. Just listen to what she's saying.
Good. Awesome. Good morning.
But it was hard.
Good morning to our Leah Puasa who's checking in this morning.
Good morning, Miss Leah. Flip It Girl.
Flip It Girl. So she, if you don't know, go follow Flip It Girl on Instagram, which Leah Puasa is part of the PBD team. And she started flipping furniture. She would get like furniture she literally finds on the side of the road for free. And she would repair it, paint it, change the hardware, and make it look like $1 million, which is crazy amazing. So go follow her. You'll see she's flipping my front yard and my backyard. And I think I reposted tables that she stenciled and she got them for free and redid it. They look like $1 million to me. And they're already in the front of my house. So when you should come by and see.
I will.
Mm-hmm.
I'll come by and see Sunga.
Yes. So go follow Flip It Girl, and you might find something that you like because it has a PI kick to it. So there you go.
We're all about shop Pacifica first. Go check out Flip It Girl.
Yes.
And then finally this week, no, actually I had two more things. J2E. I was in J2E on Friday. And a couple things that were just amazing to see. One, again, we've said this before. Lulu was running it, and
Kayla.
Yes. And Kayla actually has moved to Texas. So there was like 4 people from Texas in the room.
Nice.
It was nice to see. Most of them were Bay Area transplants, which that in itself is a whole topic.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And a whole conversation of why are we, moving out and we're moving to different states.
Too expensive.
And there's a topic of, there's a lot of Seattle has a lot of exodus. There's people moving out of Seattle, maybe to different parts of Washington, but there are a lot of people moving out of Seattle. There's a lot of people moving out of Portland. There's a lot of people moving out of San Francisco. Yeah. It's just expensive and hard to stay in. So I saw that dynamic in the room, but seeing Kayla and Lulu run it was heartwarming. I mean, that was nice to see. And then the discussion was, we should probably talk about this at some point, but it was cancel culture. And what is cancel culture? Do we participate in it? And then how do we reduce it? How do we, maybe not engage in cancel culture. So really
So
good
what is
topic.
cancel culture for those?
Cancel
who don't
culture would be
understand?
like, well, I mean, it comes in all different forms. It
Yeah.
could be like R. Kelly. That's big in the news, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm not listening to his music anymore. I'm turning it off.
Ah.
I'm not buying anything that's to do with R. Kelly. That's a form of cancel culture.
Are you listening to his music?
Nope.
Oh, really?
Nope.
I still like his songs because I know it's awful what happened and everything, but his songs remind me of times during the whatever, like
Mhm.
if I was at a party or
Back
if I
in the
was,
day,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, everybody knew the situation and heard the rumors and did nothing about it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I'm glad that it came to whatever it came to, but I get it.
Yeah. Well, and then there's like it goes like so Chick-fil-A that was brought up. That was a really good topic of like, Chick-fil-A's had its issues
Really?
with being accused of being homophobic.
Ah,
And you know, do I hear that? Yeah, I have heard that. Do I
and
love their chicken sandwich? Yeah,
yes,
I
you
love their
do.
chicken sandwich, right? So you're going to make personal decisions on
Every
certain
situation.
things, but there was one of the big topics that was brought up, and again, it's a journey to empowerment. It's every Friday
Yeah.
on
The first Friday of the
first
month.
Friday of the month. On whose page is it on? Is it
Essence
on
of Mon.
Essence
Oh,
of
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a Zoom link, but they post it.
You can find it on our social media.
Yeah.
But it's held every first Friday of the month in the evening. The discussion was, when do you make so if you see somebody that's on TV, a public figure, John Jones, former UFC champion, just got arrested again for domestic violence, and it's like his third time,
Mhm.
right? So it's easy to say, well, F that guy, I'm not watching any of his fights, I'm not, any
Mhm.
of that kind of thing, right? But how many of us know somebody who's participated in domestic violence, but we know the person,
Yeah.
right? It's a brother, it's
Mm.
a father, it's a
Mhm.
uncle. Well,
Do you
how's
cancel
that
them?
different than John
Right.
Jones, right? It's different
Right.
because you know the person.
Yeah.
And then you begin to and it's not even necessarily wrong. It's just that there's different levels of it's not necessarily a black and white situation
Right.
where you can just say, well, every one of these is this, and then you try to treat everybody like that you see in the media.
Right.
But then, you may have somebody in your family
Right.
that has that kind of situation going on. And then, so what are you going to do with that? And do you feel hypocritical, or is it just a different, kind of a situation by situation thing?
Do you compare it to that person's situation? Like, say, John Jones. This is not I'm just saying, what if his dad did this to his mom his whole life? So that's all he knows. Like,
Right.
and he doesn't know that he needs help, right? Like, I don't know.
Right.
We don't know. I totally don't know what his life is about. But I'm just saying, like, he needs help, definite, of course, but we don't know like people's life journeys and what has led them to this. It's wrong, of course, but
Sure.
why? Why are you doing this? What?
And you're more likely to know that with a family or
Right,
friend. You're more
right.
likely to know, well, I know their dad.
Yeah,
Like, I
their
know how
dad
their
did
dad
that.
used to
Yeah.
beat them, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, those things, so then you begin to make exceptions. You're beginning to make,
Right.
you kind of rationalize it versus like, do you know? Again, I'm not listening to R. Kelly,
Right.
whatever. But do we know R. Kelly's situation? Probably not as well
Yeah.
as we know, whoever.
Uncle Chester.
Right.
There you go.
Uncle Mercolo. So, but just a really good discussion of, not
Nice.
everything's black and white, and, there's, and it's a safe place, right? So
Right.
I'm not going to discuss some of the things that were
Yeah.
discussed on there.
Mhm.
But the concept of that, and how can we avoid, how can we not participate in cancel culture?
Right.
And I think that one of the big things I took away from the discussion was we need to look into things as much as we can rather than making a snap decision
Mhm.
on a situation. And the example I'll give, a lot of them are the police videos that come out and they show like a 7-second clip. And then that's what the opinion's formed on.
Yeah.
And then when you see the 17-minute clip, you go, oh, wow.
Yeah.
There's not necessarily that it justifies that. A lot of them are just, doesn't matter how much you see. The
Yeah.
more you see, the more it's like, wow, it's even worse.
Yeah.
But some of them, you don't have the whole picture. And I think that those are the kind of things with cancel culture where we can say, okay, let me take a deep breath, look into it, find as much information as I can, and then make a decision rather than making a soundbite decision or, a snippet decision where there's media that's trying to elicit this reaction from you. They're putting it out in that format or in that way, and then you react that way. So anytime I see a clip, I try to say, what is the media trying to get me to feel like? And then I got to go find the other information and see if there's more information to it. So just a good discussion. So Journey to Empowerment, you can catch the November and December. Usually they do one in December. Still 2 left this year. And then the last thing is I've been following the Giants run. It's such an amazing race. It's the first time ever in history in baseball, around from the 1800s, that 2 teams have had 105 wins in the same division. They've never been more than 5 games apart the entire year. 162 game season. Neither team has been more than 5 games apart the whole way. So it just adds to that Dodgers-Giants rivalry.
Right.
It's a crazy time, first time ever in baseball, and it could come down to a 1-game playoff.
Right.
So today is the end of the regular season. The Dodgers are playing, the Giants are playing. If the Giants win, that's a lock. So our wrap is done. But if the Giants lose and the Dodgers win, they end up tied. They end up in a 1-game playoff with themselves. The loser of that team would go to the wild card playoff and have a 1-game playoff.
Oh, geez.
So, worst case scenario, like the sky falls, the Giants could have 3 games left in this entire year.
Wow. Crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but Giants are faithful to the last pitch. So, and I
have a friend who's a Dodgers fan, and he said, you know what I hate about the Giants fans? He goes, you guys could be down 3-0, down in the 9th inning and 2 strikes, and you guys actually believe, you're not just saying it, you believe you're going to win the game. It drives me nuts. He's like, it just drives me crazy. And for those, those 3 World Series runs, I would call them, and the Giants would be behind or whatever. And he's like, I don't want to hear it. And then after that, the Dodgers choked for so long that they'd have a 3-game lead in a series, and I'd be like, this is a lock. You guys have won. And he'd be like, don't text, do not call me. Like, he didn't believe.
Yeah.
So
you gotta believe.
By the way, Dodgers fans, last year still an asterisk. That's a short season.
Yeah, that didn't count.
This season counts.
This season counts. Good morning to Lena Manulele, who's checking in on Facebook. Good morning, Lena. So yeah, I'm all for, our house is all Giants and Niners, and just we're a Bay Area team, and we raise our children that way. So yeah,
that's a lot like the child abuse kind of situation.
Oh, fool!
You raising at home. If you're born at 49er house, you're probably gonna unfortunately end
be
up
a
being
49er
a
house.
fan.
Yeah, Giants. Our house is a Giants house. My nephew just started working for the Giants, and so he's so excited.
My daughter works for the Giants.
Yeah, awesome. So there you go. What can you say if you were?
No, I'm a Giants fan.
Yeah, but if
you work for the
if
Niners.
you were born and raised in the Bay Area, you are a Bay Area fan team, whatever team you choose. There you go. So yeah, that was a good
and yesterday was a really good day where Naki and I got to hang out and not talk about PBD.
Oh man, that was it was a good day.
Hang out. We actually started to talk business just for a second, and then we both were like,
no,
this is going to be a day where we actually, so back up. We were going to do Snacky with Naki yesterday.
Oh yeah.
We just weren't feeling it.
Yeah.
Like Naki's got to feel like who and what and all that kind of thing. Just weren't feeling it yesterday. Drove around a bunch of times. Around all.
Well, we were trying to look for sweets. So.
We were looking for a place we could sit down and possibly do Snacky with Naki, but just one of those things.
That restaurant was crowded. Then we had you go to the counter and order your food, get a number, and they bring it to you. And that was basically it.
Yeah.
Our contact with anybody. So who knew? But it was good. And then, TikTok is like blowing up. And I'm like,
We hit 1 million last Friday, and we're 500,000
right. And I'm like, what the
from
heck?
Friday to today. So it's still going.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it
so
is.
it's crazy. It's just crazy to me how TikTok's algorithm is crazy.
And
So
they finally got Naki to not care about the comments.
I know.
Care about the good comments. Don't care
Yeah.
about the trolls.
The trolls are a killer. Because I just don't want. I hate when people are negative. So and I'm just I don't know. We put out positive, kind of positive vibe content, and so I like to keep that upbeat all week. Where I'm always posting upbeat stuff. I don't really like to post any negative stuff, and so
There's like 100,000 comments in there, maybe more, and like 6 of them are negative. But man, Naki's scrolling down the thing, the comments, and she sees one. She's like, "Oh, leave trolly. This person's crazy. I can't believe."
Yeah.
But that died out.
Yeah.
As we went through the week, you started to
I
started to not care as much.
This person doesn't have any content and is just purposely just trying to make people miserable. So I was like, okay.
There you go.
I get it. Anyway, that was our week. We have Koviki Talk tomorrow at 5 p.m. We took a 2-week break because we can. So there you go.
There you go.
And we'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. with Dr. Malik Fuimono and Joseph Saya, who will be talking about Washington and the data that Dr. Samoa has a survey that he's got all the data.
The PI needs assessment.
So there you go. Check us out tomorrow at 5 p.m. And then, there you go.
There you go.
Did I miss anything?
Let's see. Essence of Mana is offering free classes via Zoom. They're reaching out to our PI community. Doesn't matter where you live because it's virtual. You just got to be willing to commit to the course, which is 12 weeks. For more info, hit up Lulu Massina at 415-243-6328 or El Massina at healthright360.org. They also have Talanoa Tuesday every week at 7 p.m., hosted by our sister Nani Wilson and Lulu Massina. Check out all their episodes on the Essence of Mana Facebook page.
Yes, Brother Vince is on Big Goose Radio. Good morning, brother. Go check
Big
them
Goose Radio?
out. Yes, Big Goose Radio.
On our show. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. They had a show this week. Go check it out. Go to their page. They talked football and the standings and da-da-da-da-da. And so go. I don't want to give you any information because you have to go to their page and watch. There you go.
Show. Watch the old shows and then watch the live show.
Yes. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to, it's Josh Tatofi and Kolohe Kai. I Can Love You Like That. You're listening to the Faika broadcast. We'll be right back.
Cinderella, and you hoped it would come true. Now one day your Prince Charming would come rescue you. You like romantic movies, and you never will forget that way you felt when Romeo kissed Juliet.
And all the time that you've been waiting, you don't have to wait no more.
I can love you like that. I will make you my world. Yeah. Heaven and earth. If you were my girl, I will give you my heart.
The all that you need.
Show you you're everything. It's precious to me.
If you give me a chance, I can love you like that. Yeah.
I never make a promise that I don't intend to keep. So when I say forever, forever's what I mean. No, I'm no Casanova, but I swear this much is true. I'll be holding that night when it comes to you.
Dream of love that's everlasting. Baby, open up your eyes.
I can love you like that.
Yeah.
I can make you my world. Heaven and earth. If you were my girl,
You were
I
my girl.
would give you my heart.
Be all that you need.
Show you you're everything. It's precious to me.
If you give me a chance, I can love you like that. If you want tenderness, I got tenderness. And I see you through to the heart of you.
If you want a man who understands,
you don't have to look very far.
I can love you.
Yeah, I can love you.
I can love you like that. I will make you my world. Heaven and earth. You were my girl.
You were my
Give you
girl.
my heart.
Be all that you need, baby.
Show you you're everything. It's precious to me.
Yeah,
I can love you like that.
I can love
you
you.
my world. Heaven and earth. You are my girl. I will give you my heart. Give you all that you need. Show you you're everything. It's precious to me. I can love you, love you, love you, love you.
I can love you, hug and kiss and hug you.
As students, we do so much writing.
Oh, hey. And we're back. You're listening to the Faika broadcast.
Did you know we had ads?
There we go. I love that song. Well, I love Josh Satofi's voice. He is amazing. And
there's a video on YouTube about some voice experts.
Mhm.
They're, I don't know, voice coaches or whatever. And so they're talking about the technical aspects of singing. And I think it's that video.
Mhm.
It's Tennessee Whiskey. It's him singing Tennessee Whiskey. And they break down like his the range that he has, like how he nose sings at some points and then just flows at all kinds of technical stuff. Obviously I can't sing, but it sounded like they know what they're talking about and they're blown away with Josh Tatofi. And
he's awesome.
Just his voice, and they're like how, they're going like, it's so effortless, like watch, and then they're just geeking out on his voice, and it's so amazing to see like why we hear what we hear and how effortlessly he does it. Like, the guy's like, he just goes like straight from one to the next, and you don't even know if he's trying to make that sound. But to hear like real technical coaches talk about how good of a singer he is has been really, it's pretty cool to see. So that's on YouTube.
Yeah, that's a great song. The Josh Satofi and Kolohe Kai, I Can Love You Like That. So go to YouTube, check it out, download it, do what you do. Good morning to Reina Patea Poloi, checking in on Facebook.
Reina.
Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. So the Love My Life tour is happening now in the month of October through November.
Speaking of great singers.
Mm-hmm. Tanel and CLC, Rin, NJ, DJ Vico, and the Bay Area's very own Reno on Hawaii are performing October 10th. They are in Las Vegas, Nevada. They'll be in the Bay Area October 16th, San Francisco, California at the Ramp. All ages is a day event. October 16th in the evening is at Space 550. It's 21 and over event. So go get your tickets. They'll be in San Jose on the 17th. Phoenix, Arizona. I mean, just go check it out. The flyer is up. Check out where you live. Go find them. Go get your tickets because it's going to sell out quickly. So go check out our very own Reno on Hawaii. And if you're in the Bay Area, go get your tickets. Damn it. What are you waiting for? It's going to sell out like in a heartbeat.
I can imagine there's a little pressure on Reno in that tour because, the other entertainers are like, we're going to the Bay, right? We're
going
going
to
to
the
sell out,
Bay,
right?
yes.
Right, Reno? And I'm sure Reno's like, yeah, we are,
Yes,
right?
definitely
Everybody?
are.
Yes, we are.
Definitely
Everybody.
are. So yeah, Reno and Hawaii is Bay Area everything. Like he has Hope's Creations. That's what it's called, man? Hope's Creations, and they're just blowing up like crazy. He's graphic designer. He's a singer. He's a campaign manager. He does everything. So go check him out. Go check out Love My Life tour when they come to a city near you. Go get your tickets, for God's sakes. What are you waiting for? Yeah. So that is happening. I know that they're coming to the Bay Area October 16th. So we want to sell that show out. Sell it out. There you go. I wish I could sing, but I can't. And you don't want to know. You just don't want to know.
Your ears don't want these problems.
Yeah. Wow. As you can see, yeah.
I'm with you. Because I can't carry a tune in a bucket. Like there's so many Polynesian people that can sing. And I just hear people saying, I'm like, wow, it's actually better for everybody that I can't, because I sing everything.
Yeah.
I would sing everything. I'd sing on every show.
Yeah. Thank God you don't.
Right.
Thank you, Jesus. So we were waiting on Inoke until he gets here. We're going to chit chat about everything else in the news.
Ooh, we got free time?
We have
talk
free
about whatever?
time. Yes. So I seen that. So there's this newscast anchor in San Francisco, KTVU, which I'm no longer watching because
cancel culture.
There you go. Frank Somerville, who has been with he's a anchor. What do you call it? Anchor person, anchorman, who has been with KTVU forever and a day. And he was talking about they were doing the news of that young lady that was missing, Gabby Petito, and he was talking about how the news coverage for Gabby Petito is a lot. I mean, is awesome, that she's getting coverage, but he was going to mention that the same coverage that Gabby is getting should the women of color should be getting the same coverage. Within a day or so, the FBI went looking for this girl, Gabby, which is amazing. Like they should, but he and so many people, and myself included, is asking for the same coverage for women of color. And of course, I think it's because Gabby is blonde, blue-eyed, and cute. You know what I mean? And all the women that are missing are cute.
Attractive is always a help.
Right.
Unfortunately, if you're more attractive, you're more likely to be looked for.
And if you're white, you're more likely to be looked for, and which is 100% wrong. And so we're wondering why the media only covers white women that are missing. And so there was Jelani Day, I think his name is, his mom. He was missing in August, and it had been over a month that he had been missing. And his mother went online and was like, nothing against her. You know what I mean? Like everybody's following her. Everybody's an FBI agent. Everybody's trying to help out where they can. She was asking for the same coverage for her son, which did not happen. But because she brought up a big stink about it, where she lives, they found a body of a young man and did not test his DNA to see if it was her son. And I think that was at the beginning of September that they had found this body and didn't do anything about it. After she spoke out publicly about not getting the same coverage or the same look for my son, the police department in her area then went to and checked that body and come to find out it was her son that had been in the morgue that whole time. So that has been my big stink this whole month, is why women of color are not getting the same coverage as this young lady. They should get the same coverage as Gabby got, of course. And so, the same state that she's in, Wyoming, 712 or over 700 indigenous women are missing, and you don't hear anything, not a peep, about these women that have been missing. And I've been seeing everybody blowing up about this girl, which I get it. She's missing. If it was my child, I'd want everybody talking about it. But yeah, I'm a little irked about it. So
yeah, he's back. So he's apparently back on the air.
Nice.
Right? No, Frank Somerville.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is that's nice because
Oh,
this week, The Real, who is a talk show, they brought it up. So it's like because it went outside
Oh, I
of,
got you.
you know
I
what I
got you.
mean? Like
Yeah.
if people didn't start talking about him, KTVU would still not have him on because he was suspended indefinitely. And so I was like all over the place, like, what is it? Boycott KTVU. I was like literally hashtagging boycott KTVU. I was so angry about this because we don't get the same coverage. So he's back on.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, but I don't think it's the same thing. I think it's a different issue.
Because I'm sure another news channel would pick him right back up. And another
Right.
thing too is his daughter. So him and his wife adopted a young baby. She's now like a teenager now. So I think that was his concern: is that if my daughter went missing, would I have the same thing? So
Certainly.
there you go.
And that should be. We're going to transition out to our guest here, but you're right. That should be. We should get equal coverage. A life is a life. A person is a person.
There
If they're
you go.
missing, they
That
should
was
be
my
sought.
stink since this whole thing. I'm like so irritated with it. But anyway, here we go. Our guest that we're so honored to have him on because he took time out of his day. Every guest that we have on is we appreciate our time. Oh, we got disconnected. All right, we're gonna
Good
try
thing to
this
have
again.
a producer there.
Yes, then
The
we're back
producer
on.
takes it
There
over.
you go. Let's bring him on. So thank you, Inoke Tonga, for joining us this morning. Let's go over everything amazing about what you're doing. And of course, we've read your story. We know what's going on, but we want to just get to know you more. So good morning and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes,
We can.
yes, we
Oh,
can.
good. Okay. I had like issues with my laptop, so I'm just using my phone. So
Oh no, you're
good.
fine. You're fine. Thank you so much. We have Mena, who is our producer. She's like, he's on, he's off, he's on. So yeah. So thank
It's a
you so
typical
much.
Sunday for me.
Especially
Yeah, absolutely.
on a Sunday morning. So
Yes.
any Pacific Islander who comes on our show on a Sunday morning, we definitely appreciate because we know, we got that when we first started our show. People were like, "Oh yeah, I'll come on. When is it? It's Sunday at 10 a.m." Oh, that's a
Oh, really?
So a little bit about Inoke. Inoke is from West Valley, Utah. He works in West Valley City, Utah, which is Salt Lake City area. He works in healthcare, renal health full time, and coaches volleyball on the side, being around the youth and helping them develop skills and attributes that will teach them to be better leaders wherever they are in life is one of the many things that brings him fulfillment. Inoke earned his undergraduate degree in international business and philosophy, slowly working towards his master's in higher education with an emphasis on adult learning. Learning is something that he enjoys doing because it keeps his mind active and stimulated. I love that.
Yes.
As well as helps with his continuous improvement mindset he's learning to have. He currently resides in Denver, Colorado, where he met his fiance. They're hoping to have an official wedding date sometime in 2024. Inoke's fiance currently lives in Washington, D.C., way over on that other coast, finishing up his last 2 years of law school. That's going to be an educated couple right there.
Yes.
Outside of working and studying, Inoke enjoys cooking, eating, any active activities. So he likes to stay active and loves to be around the community of family, of close friends that he's built in Colorado. So welcome, Inoke.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my God, it's so amazing. So, first of all, tell us a little. I mean, we've got a lot, but tell us a little bit about your family and where you grew up. And your fiance, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, my sibling and I are first generation American on my mom's side, but second on my dad's side. Siu and George Tonga. My dad actually was born and raised in the Bay Area, San Mateo, California. So we have a lot of ties there. Always back and forth visiting family. My mom came from Tonga with her family. Her grandparents, my grandparents, and then her siblings as well. Settled in Utah, in West Valley City, Utah, and raised all 7 of us kids. I'm the second oldest. I have an older sister, Rosina Tonga, who's just a few years older than me, and then the youngest just turned 22. So the age ranges from 32 to 22. So Yeah.
Awesome. We know a lot of Tongas in San Mateo. One of our PBD crew, Britt Tonga, she was in San Mateo and now she's in Utah too. So I'm not sure if the last name Tonga is like Smith and Jones. There's a lot, or are you guys
Yeah, I
all
feel like
just
all
one
the
big?
San Mateo Tongas are my family. So
Oh,
any of the
awesome.
Funuas, the
Oh yeah.
Tongas, yeah. So
Awesome. So, tell us about what you're doing healthcare. What got you into that field?
yeah, I actually was doing regional management for retail. I wanted a work-life balance. I didn't want to move the East Coast from Denver. I met my fiance here, and as things were getting more serious, I didn't want to move away from him. So I kind of picked up what I want to do, kind of like a managerial position at the company I'm doing now, and it kind of escalated to different positions that my managers and teammates thought I would be best for. So I kind of do a lot of the coordinating for care, and we do more of the pre-dialysis, and we're more proactive in trying to see how long we can prolong, kidney failure and all of that. So we work with different members of our community with different regions. My region mainly is the Spanish-speaking patients that we have in Florida or California, and then they range all the way from the East Coast as well. So preventative side is what we do with all of that. I've decided to stay there. I thought it was a fun at first getting recruited for the recruiting managerial positions, but the more I dove into just the lack of education that our people have specifically, I wanted to educate a little bit myself more. That way I can advocate a little bit more for our people, and educating, gout, diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure is huge because of the lack of resources that our people have. So one of my main goals, staying with this company is trying to educate myself more in order to help and provide a little bit more education for our community, and loving it. I'm loving what I'm learning, and I'm thriving. So
I love it. It's awesome.
yeah, thank
And
you.
educating our community is huge, right? Because we
Yeah,
really just eat anything and not knowing the consequences of gout, right? Like gout is like
yeah,
one of the it's diabetes, gout,
yeah,
heart problems, and it's a lot has to do with the food we eat, right? Because like back in the
yeah,
islands, we just eat off of our land, and you come here and it's
yeah,
all a whole different thing. And so we have to educate ourselves, like we just eat what we eat, like at home. We
yeah.
eat whatever we eat. We come
It
here, we're
tastes
gonna eat
good,
whatever.
so of
Yeah.
course I eat.
Yeah. So, and
Yeah,
then what is it? Portion control for like last night. I went to an
yeah.
event and there was taro and corned beef and I took the piece with the fat. Like I was like,
It's the
okay,
best piece.
it's the best piece, but just like in moderation. Like I don't eat it
Yeah,
every day. It's like once in a blue moon I'll have it, but still, it's so good. And I
yeah,
know it's bad for us. So now you're I love that you're doing that in healthcare, and you're educating everyone. So it's
yeah.
huge. Um Now you're doing volleyball. Are you still coaching volleyball? Tell us what's going on with that. I know you were coaching at a high school, and that it sounded like you love doing that. Tell us what happened there.
Yeah. I coached 4 teams, so 2 club teams and then 2 high school teams.
Nice.
Club is a little bit more, you get recognized more, and those who, unfortunately, there's a lot of, minorities who can't afford club, and that's where you get recognized the most if you do want to
Yes.
pursue a career in college. So I wanted to high school as well, so I did 2 high school teams, 2 club teams, 4 altogether. And I was at this Christian school. Um, when I applied, I was actually encouraged by the community, boys and their parents who already, love me. They love my fiance. Huge on having alumni from their kids graduating from this. It's a wonderful school, honestly, and they just have a few bad weeds.
Yeah.
I started my career path, there a couple of years, and the interview process was with the same 2 men who let me go. I still have a lot of love for them. I mean, the intimate conversations we had during my interview, I told them, regardless if you guys hire me or not, I considered it a win because we had a spiritual connection, spiritual conversation. And I love all things God. That's what
Yeah.
we're raised as our people. We
Yeah.
just have a different kind of love for God and for our people. So I took that and ran with it.
Uh-oh. Did we lose him?
It looks like he's a poor connection.
Oh. You didn't talk to. We'll be right back. Well, Mena has.
I think he's back in the green room. So, that's telling, though. I think, and when he comes back, we'll talk about that. That the same two people that he initially talked to are the same two
That
people
let him
that
out.
were the last
Oh.
people that he talked to at the organization, and this is really the crux of it. I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking to a positive Pacific Islander role model in Inoke, Tonga, from Denver, Colorado.
Doing the work that he loves.
Recommended by the community to go for this position because the community saw that he should be in this position of leadership with youth. So he goes, interviews, gets the position, and that's where we're at in the story right now. When Inoke comes back, we're going to talk about, how was it in the position,
Mm-hmm.
and what the progress was, and then we're going to get to how he was let go, and how that was handled, really mishandled from a sane perspective in 2021, how it was mishandled. And I think it's the conversation that he had is really what I want to make sure. We want to make sure PBD is out there, because the conversation and the topic of the conversation and how that went is just, it's upsetting. I mean, it's upsetting that it's just, I guess it's good that people are bold and they're out there and they say that, but at the same time, it's got to be, it's really concerning to us.
Yes.
So welcome back, Inoke. And before we get too much further into this, I just think it's important to have this discussion and have this out there. There are things that, people don't know that still happen today. People think that, like, I don't know, and this is extreme, right? Lynchings were something from, the 1940s or the 1800s. The last lynching took place in 1981. Like, that's not ancient history.
Mm-hmm.
People getting let go from positions for these kind of things, that's not something that doesn't happen. These are still things that happen in America today, and it's good to have the discussion. It's good to put it on the table and be able to talk it through. So,
yeah, I think it's crazy that at this time in our lives that we're having these discussions about getting let go of because of your sexual orientation. And if that is it, well, we want Inoke to tell us the story, because we all pissed off now at that school. We all pissed off at that school. So,
but it's important for
so
people.
Sorry.
No, you're
that's
fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
We're fine. We were just talking about how important it is to have this discussion, to have this put this on the table and have it discussed, because a lot of times I think people, they're being told certain things, like this is from the 70s or 80s.
Right,
this doesn't happen in 2021. And what I was talking about was the actual discussion and the topics of how your final discussion with the organization. It was just shocking to me in a way that, like, I'm glad that they're that bold, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, that's you're actually seeing the mindset of, and I'll let you tell it. So the discussion, let's back a little bit. You get the position that the community recommended you for, that the community said, parents said, hey, you should get involved in this leadership position with our children and continue on teaching them, because there is a point where you're in club, and then you go to the schools, and like my daughter plays softball, and you're as well recognized in softball as you are from high school, sometimes even more. Like, there's more college scouts at a travel ball game than there is maybe at a high school game, because everybody's like specialized in that sport. So the community pushes you to go for the position. You go, you get it. How was it when did you feel like you had arrived? Like, this is where I need to be at this point. Like, walk through coaching at that level.
Yeah, I knew immediately, upon applying and getting the position, that I needed to be there and introducing myself to some of the kids. A lot of boys who I didn't know were excited to meet me. Some of which were like, we're so excited, to hear that we have a gay coach. Some who just came out recently because of my story. And never was it an issue. A lot of people are like, well, it's a Christian school. Like, why? What do you expect? And for me, it's just like, well, that's the issue I have is I expect, as a Christian school, especially non-denominational, that acceptance is everywhere. We aren't led by society's values. We're led by Christ's values that he taught in the Bible, which was to find the one, leave the 99, love unconditionally. So since I've come out, back in when I was 26, about 4 years ago, I came out with the intention to, not even have to worry about who I am as a person and who I am to God. And, that my faith and who I decide to love can coexist regardless of what society teaches us. So that's why I applied. I was struggling a little bit with my faith. And the reason I specifically pursued, those encouraging words and all the encouragement from the parents to apply was because I needed the faith of my boys and these girls to uplift me and continue on this journey. And that's what I expressed that during my interview, and I was excited. Again, it was never an issue at hand. It was never a second thought. It was never, well, I'm a Christian. I'm in a Christian school. I hope they don't find out I'm gay. I never really flaunted. I never still do flaunt my sexuality. I was pulled into that meeting. It's been a little over a month now, and what he found was an interview that I did with actually one of the LDS bloggers who try to advocate for those who, for the minute people who have been hurt, within the LDS community, especially the LGBTQ plus community. And she said, well, I see that you're singing at church in Denver, and I see that your bishop, you had mentioned your bishop asks for you and your partner, and if you can continue to teach some classes. And to her, it's very foreign, especially in Utah. Where I went to school, it's you come out as gay, you can't participate and have callings because of the culture of it. So she wasn't really used to it, and there's so many people who aren't used to it. So she wanted to highlight why continue with my faith, especially after being told I can't be gay and continue with my faith. So they had found that specific blog post that she wanted to highlight my story with. And that blog post was specifically to make an outreach of people struggling with their faith and their sexual identity. And they deemed it to be very inappropriate. They had told me, after reading it, that in that post I said that I was a gay man, and they said I can't be a child of God if I consider myself a gay man. And I had told them, if you read the actual blog, what I said was, I'm a gay man, I'm a grandson, I'm a brother, I'm a healthcare worker, I'm all of these things, and these things are what make me a child of God. God put all of these things in my path in order to develop myself, and they bring up my identity, which is the main identity is the Son of God. And they had, for about an hour and a half, kept, continually telling me that I'm not gay and that I'm just struggling with the thought of it, and I just can't control my thoughts. And prior to that, literally walking from the halls, they greeted me and we walked to the back office. And doing so, we passed all the kids in the hall. A lot of the kids who were volleyball players and weren't volleyball players were just super excited to see me. So my girls were like, hey, coach, we'll see you at practice in about an hour. And they put that into the conversation, and they said, we know that you're not gay because look how much the kids love you and look how much you love them, kind of insinuating that pureness of love that one person can have for another person, especially my relationship with the kids. A gay person can't be capable of loving someone unconditionally and being loved unconditionally. And he brought that, the director brought that to the conversation, and the pastor was like, I do have books to help you, through your journey. I have books that you can read on conversion.
Oh no.
So that's the conversation that I was alluding to.
Yeah.
So they said you could keep your position if you did certain things, and I think Naki has seen this, and this is the shocking part to me. It's almost like a deprogramming thing, a foolish attempt at deprogramming. But what was the condition that you could keep your job?
Yeah, they told me they wouldn't give me a timeline. I could decide, that day or next day. But the decision was to delete all of the posts I have that have advocated for the LGBT plus community, anything that said I was gay, and to also, cut off that communication with my fiance because that's not what God wants. And he encouraged me to do it when I got home. And he was like, just think about it. We're excited because you're on the right path and just want to help you realize that you're not gay.
How long
And
had you been working there, Inoke, before this happened?
going on two years. This was going to be my first season with the girls, going on 2 seasons with the boys.
And those
Oh,
are that's like, so they're saying, look, renounce who you are, who you've been, who you will be in the future, and it, the whole bit about, take your own time to do this. But that's what was really shocking to me, was you can keep the position if you just
denounce who you
denounce
are.
who you are, who you've been,
Yeah.
and who you ever will be. Sure, we'll let you keep the job. I mean, it's not really like they're saying you can keep the job. They're, and it does sound like there was some. I don't know if they genuinely believe what they're saying, but they're
Right.
saying they think they're helping people when they're saying this. But yeah, that was the big shock to me, is today in 2021, somebody can sit there as an employer and say, you know, delete all the, cancel culture. That, you want to talk about cancel
Mm.
culture? This is cancel culture. Cancel all of the posts and beliefs that you've had on social media before, and stop being who you are, and, live a life that you don't believe in. That was like, I read that so many times. And I was just blown away. I couldn't wait to sit down and talk to you and ask, was it really, that's what that conversation was, right?
Yeah, that was 100%. Unfortunately, that's what the conversation was. Um, I remember I at home. Sorry, I get emotional when I think about
I mean,
Don't.
I can't even
that.
believe that this is happening in 2021. Like, I'm just floored that this happened. But I'm sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
it kind of pushed me back, and I called one of my best friends and I held it together, and I was super happy. And as soon as I got to my car, I just cried. I called my friend just bawling, and I said, things like this make me question, does God really want me to be gay? Or like he told me years ago to come out. I remember, all the self-torture that I had for 26 years, just growing up with men like this, and other people just telling me this is not who you are. And as I was just venting all that out, I felt comforted at the same time. And I felt a lot of appreciation for God for just kind of holding back all of my emotions and tears and not letting these two men see, I was internally breaking down and self-torturing all over again. After that, I think about all the boys in my club as well who, um, towards the end of the season, they started painting their nails and being a little bit more flamboyant, and I said, where did
Being
this sass come
themselves.
from? And they're like, yeah, well, you created, this environment, all the ways we love each other and we feel more comfortable to do this. I literally thought of all of those little things that just helped me be appreciative of being a good coach and helping people through their journey. And I said, I've hated myself so much. I am not going to let them get the best of me, and I'm not going to hate them the way I used to hate myself. The last thing I needed, especially during that time, was to hold all of those negative emotions in my heart, because that's from what I've been taught. A lot of fervent prayers and scripture studies and going to different churches and learning from other people. I've learned that our hearts aren't made to just fester in those emotions. So before I even came out with, post, I was praying. I think I posted at 2 or 3 in the morning, and I was walking around that whole morning, couldn't go to sleep. Just wanted to make sure before I posted it that all of those emotions and negative feelings that I had were done with. So that way I didn't post anything that seemed like I was trying to attack anybody or seemed I was bitter. I just wanted, a message from me to everybody else. And, no man on earth is going to be worthy to tell you whether worthy of God's love or not. And I feel very happy with how I expressed that message, because those who wanted to be offended with the message did get offended, and those who were just seeking any kind of comfort found it in that post, and it just exploded.
That's one of the things that Naki and I always talk about is, um, and she does this a lot. She'll apologize when she starts crying, and I'll tell her, "Don't apologize for your emotions. Your emotions are yours. They're real, you know." And so I would say this: don't apologize for your feelings. They're pure. They're yours. You own them. And feeling sad about something like this is perfectly normal. And actually, I think that the point that I think anger, and a lot of times that's a second emotion, secondary emotion. Like you get angry, you get frustrated, it's sadness first. And if you can really feel that, sometimes you don't have to go through some of the secondary emotions. I saw that you're on one of those smaller shows a few weeks ago, the Ellen DeGeneres show.
That is huge. They're like, you gonna come on this itty bitty show?
Right. But it made me think of how many times when you come on, you tell the story, you relive it, right? And you must have told this story, who knows how many times. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing it with us again. And I'm sure that you'll share it again. But I think that one of the things that, the way that God works is that you're able to tell your story and you're able to put light on an issue that needs to be understood, and to have the shock and the feelings that Naki and I have had when I read that, and I was like, am I really reading this? And then, you're saying that, hey, go break up with your fiance now, call tonight and make, those, like, it's insane.
That's
it's crazy.
crazy.
That stuff is out there.
Crazy to me that it's happening today at this time,
Yeah,
after all that has been going on in the world, that this conversation is happening today. I'm so grateful that you're telling this story, and I hope that you continue to tell this story, because we say this all the time to people, is that you never know the lives that you're saving by telling your story. There's a young man or a young woman that's struggling with who they are and whatever they're going through, and to see you speak out against, this school and these people, and that it's leading you to the Ellen show, where you can reach millions of people that see that see you telling your story, and the lives that you're saving, because there are people struggling with who they want to be. And so to see you share your story, you really are saving people's lives. And I'm such a crybaby, so I'm so sorry.
We do it together.
There's somebody out there that's going to be looking at the screen, and as you're looking at your camera now, they're going to feel like you're talking to them, and you are, and you don't know exactly who you're talking to. And it may be, a lot of times these are a couple of years later, like the video is years old, and somebody looks at the video and goes, oh my, like, this is touching me. So you're touching, more people. Some people, you'll change their lives and they'll never be able to come up and shake your hand and tell you, hey, I was 3 a.m. and I found this weird video on this channel, and there you were talking to Ellen or to whoever, because like I said, I'm sure you're going to tell this story many times, and you're going to have to put yourself through the same experience each time you tell it. That's why we're really appreciative of that. I'm going to geek out here for a second. What was it like to be on the Ellen show?
Yeah. And how did she get a hold of you? She read this story, and
yeah, it was surreal, honestly, just having everything. And it was because of the kids. And I think that a lot of people shine light, on me speaking out. And I will take credit for just, pulling the curtain open for the rest of the community to shed light on what they've been going through and their experiences, because they're the ones who kind of make it take off. And I was telling her that, the support is just so humbling. When I was talking to her about it, she had mentioned when she came out, during the break, she came out, her story really impacted her, or my story really impacted her, because she didn't see, and a lot of people don't see that support from just a huge community around the world when she came out. So that when she told me that, I said, I do have to keep, I am going to be uncomfortable sometimes saying these stories and continue to share my experiences. But just as he said, there's so many people, like you guys said, who don't think they have support, And, going on Ellen and seeing that everybody has been, very supportive of me, very supportive of kids and everybody else. I mean, it was an opportunity I never expected nor wanted, but I knew I had to run with it and take it. Kind of like just honestly, this opportunity. If you see any of the posts from when I posted until now, all of it, I made it a point to say, dear little Tongan boy or dear Tongan boy, kind of reflecting on, that leadership that I lacked as a Tongan boy, growing up with, community of Palangis because parents wanted us to learn how to, it is quote unquote a white world. We need to work harder and all of that. And, just coming up as a Tongan, you don't see those resources. So I kind of made it a point from when I came out with that story until just even my most recent point is just, at first I was talking to myself. As it got bigger, I realized, I need to get involved with our Pastika community because there are so many other people who look like us, who look like me, that don't think they have someone who can resonate with and relate to. So I made it a point, and I still am going to continue to do so, to make those points, beginning with my posts and, dear little Tongan boy, because of the fact that, our people have just been blessed with so much love. And when we are against each other, it's the greatest act of, I feel like, hate because of the fact that we've been blessed a different type of love that no other culture is blessed with. We're wasting all of those things that God has specifically brought to our culture, and only because people are gay or of the LGBT community, because we don't speak about so much. I want to continue to make it a point, to speak to the little Tongan boys, little Tongan girls, little Polynesian people. If I have support, any support I have, all of you guys, we are brothers and sisters in this community. So being on, this show as well and talking with you guys, it's humbling. I think it's more humbling than being on Ellen because, I've never really been involved with the Pacifica community or my Polynesian community. I never thought I would have a reputation to do so and feel that I have a voice to impact our community. And I just needed, that little kick that you guys are giving me. And it's more humbling than being on any of these big shows or big local interviews because people look at me and I'm Tongan, and that's what I want people to see, our community to see.
If somebody would have came to us and talked to, and there's thousands of these out there, but we've interviewed so many coaches, just coaches, healthcare workers, college graduates. Like there's so many different things that you've done that had we heard of you, we would have you on anyway, because we push and that's our thing. Like we push and promote positive Pacific Islander role models. You were a role model before that high school let you go. So you're a role model in what you do and who you are before that. I think this gives you the platform to, to speak about this issue. So how do things happen for us and not to us? Maybe that's God's way of putting this in your path so that you have a platform to stand on. But there's not enough of the Inoke Tongas before the high school let you go. There's not enough of those paths and those people winning in life that are being promoted. So just know you were a role model before that happened. This is giving you a platform to speak on it. And the Pacific Islander community, we see you. And there's a comment in the chat on the show that, is a comment that we're proud of you. And we are proud of you 100%. You are truly a positive Pacific Islander role model. And I can see where you're going to make this for you. And to be able to, get a bigger platform and speak to more Tongan kids is important. And I think that one of the things that we're really seeing now, and I pray every day, like I'm not stepping on Christianity, but the third gender was in the islands before Christianity. and it wasn't a cancel culture thing for the third gender, be it in Hawaii, in Tonga, and Samoa, until Christianity got here. And I think Christianity is now growing to the point where some of Christianity can accept that. Most, who knows, but they're obviously you're living proof that it's not 100% there yet. And like I said, I pray every day, and I'm not stepping on Christianity in any way. I've got a great relationship with God, but the third gender was there in our people, in our lands, and our islands before Christianity was. I'm sorry, Naki. I was trying to talk. Usually when you're crying, you ask me to talk, and I definitely see tears from Naki right now, where we are moved by your story. And okay.
Thank you.
And so, has what is next for you, Inoke? Are you still coaching volleyball, just not for that high school? Correct.
Yeah, I've had a lot of opportunities, of other local high schools who have reached out, wanting me to coach.
Awesome.
But for the past month, I feel like the past 2 years, I went from work to coaching, and then from coaching to coaching more. And I didn't realize how much free time how much I needed free time. So this past few weeks, all my friends are super ecstatic to see me, and I have more focus as well to communicate a little bit more with my family, and as well as focus more on our club as well. So for me, I'm just going to make sure that this club season happens to be the best one for my 18-year-olds. And I also taking this time to educate myself more on being a better advocate for the LGBTQ plus community, because I'm in it, but I'm not in it, because I don't really know too much of the statistics and numbers of everything that discrimination that's going on. So I have teamed up with the managers at GLAD, the big advocacy company, and spoken with Pride, just so I can become a better advocate. I still don't feel worthy of having all the credit that the Polynesian community is giving me, or the LGBTQ plus community is giving me. So with all this free time, I don't feel worthy of it. What are you going to do about it? So for me, I'm educating myself so I can live up to those credit and this person that everybody is telling me I am. So I internally feel personally worthy to say that I'm a great advocate for both my island community and the LGBTQ plus community.
I think it's just your story and owning it and speaking your truth is all the education that you need, right? And you picking up stats and stuff is going to help a lot. But I think that's God's plan for you, is to speak up for those who aren't speaking or not able to speak for themselves. And so I'm so proud of you. I love your story. I'm so happy and to watch you speak up about what happened is huge. You know what I mean? You could have kept quiet and kept going and just, I'll just apply somewhere else. But I applaud you. I'm so proud that you took this stand. I'm going to cry. I'm such a crybaby. I'm so proud of you that you stood up, not only for yourself, but the millions of kids that aren't able to speak. And so thank you. Thank you for giving us this time this morning. Thank you for what you're doing for the world. Really, it's the world. And Ellen reaches millions of people. So I am touched by the people that you've reached this far. And I know that you're going to continue to stand up and tell your truth and help so many more people. So I'm a crybaby. So
that's Ellen's. It's Ellen's last season. So 19th season. It's her last one. And you're in her leadoff week.
Yeah.
You were in, the first week of her final season. And I think that, this is God's plan.
This is God's plan.
This is God's plan.
Definitely.
And trust me, there are a ton of utopia chapters.
Yes.
And people that are going to be reaching out. And that's kind of where I was saying, you've told your story many times and you'll probably end up telling it many more. I tell Naki this when she talks through trauma she's teary-eyed every time, but she never shrinks from it when she's in front of young ladies or the camera or whatever. She's going to talk about it. She's going to experience it again. She's going to go through it again because it's going to help somebody. So We're so proud of you, Inoke.
So proud of you. Thank you so
Thank
much for your
you.
time this morning. Any shout outs you want to give before we give you back your Sunday?
My family,
Yes.
honestly, they have been a rock, throughout my life, especially my parents and how I kind of express myself and how I hold myself. Also, my baby brother, he plays on the Bears, so everybody support him, Chicago Bears. So
Yay.
super proud of all of my siblings and humbled to be their older brother.
Thank you so much. God bless your journey and kick ass. That's out. Just
I will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Inoke. God bless you.
Have a great Sunday.
Bye.
Wow.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's all I got to say as well. And I knew that when I started talking about the conversation they had when they let him go, and you were like, yeah, but I was like, oh, clearly Naki hasn't
I
seen.
didn't. I wanted to hear everything. I didn't read any. All I knew, well, I knew the basics of the story. And so that got me angry. So I want to hear everything and know everything during the interview. So, man, he's awesome. He's just going to reach so many and save so many.
It'd be
Save so
so
many.
easy to be in the situation he's in and just be angry and just, leave that and you know what I mean? And not do anything with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just make that like, that was the big thing that held me back from doing whatever. And I'm not saying, there's a correct way to do that. Right. But look what he's doing with it.
Yeah. It's awesome. That was Inoke, Tonga, coming to us from Colorado. So, I don't have anything else, but
that's a good note to end on.
That's a good note to end on. Is just really speak your truth and be you, and amazing, passionate things will come to you if you just live your truth and speak up when you feel something is wrong. Look at that. That's awesome.
Look at him go. And I'm sure we're going to see him plenty of times more. And, big ups to people who've been through trauma.
Yes.
And are able to share it and relive that experience. He's reliving that. You can see he's reliving that experience every time he tells a story.
Yeah.
But he's brave. He does it because he knows it's going to help somebody.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's admirable.
Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Catch us every Sunday at 10 a.m. here on Facebook and on YouTube. Wednesday, we're on Island City at 10 a.m. Download the Dash Radio app, search Island City at 10 a.m. And then Koviki Talk is every Monday at 5 p.m. Join us tomorrow. We have Joseph Sale with Pikawa, and we have Dr. Malik Fuimono, who will be giving us Washington's NHPI vaccine data, and you can ask questions, and there you go. What a nice flyer, Mena. So come back to Faika with us. Yeah.
You like romantic movies, and you never will forget that way